In the introduction to the first module, we made the argument that the structure and shape of our neighborhoods did not come by accident. In this module, we turn our attention to exploring how numerous entities all played a role in the development of our neighborhoods over time. Government agencies at the macro and the micro level are one of these entities that determine how our neighborhoods become what they are. They set policies on what can be built, when and where. They determine who can live next to each other. And they provide some of the resources for constructing these neighborhoods. Members of communities play a great role and have a great influence on how the environment is shaped. And finally, real estate developers, including investors and urban designers, all have a vested interest in shaping communities that will help grow their professional and economic portfolios. Let's take the suburbs, for example. In the US, they were the result of decisions and social processes. The first were the decisions by the federal government with the creation of the GI Bill and the Federal Housing Authority. These two sets of policies made it affordable for the construction of these houses for the real estate developers, and also affordable for some families to be able to move into them. It was also the result of white families leaving cities that were desegregating. Moving out to the suburbs made it possible for them to live far away from black folks and persons of color and live almost completely and exclusively with other white families. Suburbs in France were also the result of governmental policies, but they had completely different objectives. Suburbs, or banlieues, go as far back as the early 1870s. They were greatly expanded in the 1950s as a result of a handful of events. One was the post-war crisis. Another was the increased immigration influx from the colonies. A third was the baby boomers who were leaving rural areas to move into the center of the cities. And the construction of these suburbs were supported by the Ministry of Reconstruction. So in this module, we want to look at how historically all these different entities came together to make decisions that have shaped the communities in which we live today. Here are some questions to keep in mind as we explore this topic. Who were the decision makers and what were the social processes that led to how our communities are today? Who did they have in mind as they were making these decisions? On what basis did they make the decisions that they were making? And how did people engage or respond to the decision makers?